Hey folks, and welcome to my review of the KZ EDA. This is a very ambitious release from KZ because it includes 3 earphones, as you can see, are in one box instead of one earphone and say different tuning nozzles or tuning vents or something like that. They've gone completely different, included 3 different pairs of earphones. The gold one at the top is the base one. The one on the right, which is clear, is the balanced one, and the one with the green is the high res one. Obviously I'll talk about that later on. And yet, as usual, full disclaimer is these are actually sent out to me by KZ themselves, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yeah, let's just delve straight in. So just like I said in the intro, you get 3 different pairs, which I'll get to in a bit. So dynamic combination earphones, 3 pairs of earphones in 3 styles to meet your listening needs. They all do have their differences, so it's quite unique. So nothing on the side there, nothing really there. Obviously mine is the one with the mic. And like it says, black is heavy bass, transparent, balanced, and the cyan is high resolution. Specs 112 decibels, well 0.53 at 1 kilohertz. Weight, the very light impedance of 30 ohms, pin type 0.75, normal KZ connection, and 28 to 40,000 hertz. These do extend very well, like the CRA models before them. So yeah, it's not so you get three different pairs. Obviously, on the camera, they just about look green, a bit more green in real life. So yeah, 3 different pairs, and they all come with medium tips as well. So there's a lot of tips, but it only comes with the 1 cable, which we'll have a look in a sec. So yeah, crazy. There's a sneak peek. I've actually been listening to these quite a bit, and I've already graphed them if you've got a keen eye. So there's just the paper right there. Extra tips in here, which should be small and large. Just 1 pair of each, so it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, so you get 3 lots of mediums, but only 1 pair of small and large. Bear that in mind. And the cable. So this should be the normal KZ CCA kind of cable. Yep, not a bad cable. It's typically flat. There's an ear hook design there. And this is the one with the mic. So yeah, just the 1 button there, and the mic's on the back. So yeah, pretty straightforward. So yeah, like I said, I've actually been using these before. In the next clip, when I get to the review, we can have a good look at each of them. Obviously, I go over the sound and so forth, so nothing. And I'll go in depth as usual. And yeah, I'll see you in the next clip. So yes, so finally on to the review section, and yeah, it's nuts that you actually get 3 different IEMs for $30, so they're roughly $10 each, shall we say, but only comes with 1 cable, 1 pair of small and large, but 3 pairs of mediums. So there's some kind of quirks to it, and yeah, let's just go over what they physically look like. Obviously you can see I've picked the left one for all of them. The shape for all 3 is the same. Focuses, it's just exactly the same shape. So let's just pick these 2. So for example, you can see there it's just the same 2-pin, all that stuff, but you can see here, see it's different on the nozzle. Same again for the high res. So those 2 look similar. That looks less dampened, and it's technically the smoothest. So I'm not sure if they all use the same drivers and then they tune it a bit with like the material in the nozzle. I'm not quite sure. I won't be taking these apart, so I won't really find out. But yeah, let's go on to power. So I know issues powering these. They're all kind of the same thing really. Obviously they all do sound a bit different, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But I had no issues really, and yeah, say it's a very unique proposition from them to get obviously 3 different sets in 1 box. I appreciate that they've done that because I've never ever seen that before. No, like I said before, you normally get either like the nozzles can be changed or like in the BQEYZ Autumn, you can change the bass vent, which is kind of cool, but they're just 33 different ones in the box, which is crazy. And yeah, so tonality of these I found was very good. The single DD that KZ use and CCA use these days I think is very good, just like the CRA, a very good product. They've released the CRA Plus just after I think they announced these. I don't have the Plus model. I have the normal one. I obviously have these. Yes, I won't go too much into that, but hopefully I can try the Plus model in the future. So yeah, let's just get into the same really. That's why we're here. So I'm going to overlay a graph now of all three put together. It's probably a bit easier instead of doing three different ones back to back to back. So bass. So bass on these, I found two of them similar and one a bit different. So the bass version, which is the one with the gold outline on the shell, is the bassist. It's also got the most treble, but I'll get to that later on. So the high res one has the least bass, then the balanced, then the bass. The bass one is basically getting onto bass head level. The other two are light. The other two maybe have a bit too much as well, but KZ don't really seem to do bass light tuning. I'm kind of happy that you can always adjust it yourself, but the gold one has the most, and I'd say it's pretty much close to bass head level. That's why they did call it that. So, but yeah, the actual DD itself, the quality is perfectly fine. I think it's for $10 each model. I'm perfectly happy with it. I don't have any issues with that. Yeah, the TK is good. They've used a good driver. It's another one of those thin ones like the CRA. So it's kind of a relative to those. So yeah, mids. Again, I had no issues. It sounds kind of V. They do have a V kind of sound, but it all depends on what you actually listen to, your kind of library. Again, I didn't have any issues. I think some people probably prefer more neutral or more kind of flat sound, but I think it's okay. Again, it's more than good enough for what you're actually paying. As you say, it's $30 for the three, so it's not too bad at all. Yeah, mids are fine. They have good body to the lower mids, which is, I like that. It stops it sounding super thin. They do sound a bit thin though, all three do, but at least there's a bit of body to the bottom, so I'm happy with that. So this is where they all differ, is the treble. Now I personally prefer the balanced one, which is the least, and then the high res, and then the bass model. The bass model I found a bit too aggressive with the treble, a bit harsh. I personally didn't like that, but some other people might. But yeah, I preferred the most tame one, which is the balanced one. And then the high res has a little bit more than that, and then the bass has a bit more than that, essentially. The high res one is not too bad. It depends on how much treble you like. But even the balanced one, which is the least treble, it still has a bit much, just like the CRA was the same. It still has it can still be a bit spicy in the treble. They all have 5K like bump there, which can cause problems, and they all do. I say they do have extended treble like CRA. Some people probably won't like that. I can tolerate that. Some people don't like that, and you can get a bit of sibilance on all three models. Again, I do prefer the tamest one, which is the balanced. Because I don't like when everything's so boosted. Like I've said before, it makes things sound artificial and tiring, fatiguing really. But yeah, I do like the balanced one is probably my preference. Then the high res, then the bass. But I think a benefit of the high res one, which is the high resolution, is you do get what it says. The resolution seems better. And you do get more, I think little micro details seem a little bit better than the bass one, which is more. The bass one is the worst one, I think, out of the three. And I think most folks will probably like the balanced one first, and then the high res probably just right behind that. But yeah, the tuning, again, is very good. It's CRA-ish kind of tuning. They are quite similar. This is technically better value for money because you get three for $30. But yeah, treble performance was okay. Again, it still has some of the flaws that CRA did, which is it can be bright for some folks, even for me, even the tamest one. But it's still very good technical performance, I think, from these. They are a good set, and fair play for KZ for making them, really. But yeah, I was quite happy with it. It's not perfect, but for sheer value for money, it's hard to knock, really. So yeah, so my conclusion is, do I like these sets? Yes. If they sold the balanced one, which is this one, on its own for like around the $10, that's crazy value for money. That's this kind of destroys like the VK4s, the original one. But yeah, I do like what they've done. I respect that kind of marketing and decision. It's very different, quite bold. Excuse me. But yeah, good set. But the balanced one is my pick. Say single DD on all, no armatures needed. Excuse me. But yeah, very good set. I must just say, really really good technical performance. I do like what they've done. I do hope I can try this CRA Plus in the future against these and against itself, the CRA. But yeah, really good. I can't really, for sheer value for money, it's very good. Really, very good tuning. Again, the gold one is the bass one. Not my favourite, but if you're a bass head and you do like these sharper, aggressive tuning, because it is tuned quite aggressively, this is probably the one for you. Like I showed you before, the tuning is different in the nozzles. So yeah, obviously they've done some magic in there. But yeah, not a bad set. Not perfect. It does have a few flaws, but on the whole, I can't really fault it, because these three are nearly the price of one CRA Plus at the moment. So that's quite a thing. But yeah, obviously I won't waffle on too much. If you want to know anything in particular or anything specific, just let me know in the comments as per usual. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and take care.